Inadvertently, so many subscribers have found themselves as semi-tenants after paying millions of naira acquiring properties within estates. You see so many instances where developers treat their subscribers as if they were tenants at will, as if they are squatters. Recently, someone sent me a allocation letter issued to him by one estate. Then in the allocation letter, managers or the company managing the estate, the owners of the estate in quote. Why I say owners of the estate in quote is because once you buy land or once you buy a house in an estate, you become a co-owner of the estate. So on going through the allocation letter, one of the clauses there says the developer has the right to increase the utility charge, the service charge. I'm talking about refuse evacuation, talking about security, etc. That the developer has the right to unilaterally, at any time it deems fit, to increase the service charge, and the buyer is bound to pay. What struck me most is the next clause says, if for any reason this buyer, they will prefer to call them subscribers, if for any reason this subscriber fails to pay, that his right to the property he paid for shall be revoked. Good a thing that transaction eventually didn't go through for some other reasons not connected to this particular condition. Why I'm bringing this to the public domain is this: before you buy into any estate, prudence, wisdom requires that before releasing your money, you cite the terms and conditions you are binding yourself with. How could a developer tell you that he could increase service charge at any time unilaterally without consulting you, and that you are bound to pay, and failure to pay, that he will revoke your title over property you have paid him for? I know that if this kind of document is subjected to judicial scrutiny, it won't stand the test of time. It won't stand. However, but before you get to the point of saying, okay, you want to go to court, why not prevent what is preventable by not jumping into any estate you see, paying? And the funny thing is that the person that forwarded this document to me is a lawyer. His particular interest is looking at the price of the property, negotiating the price of the property. But this ignoble clause, this clause that I see as being illegal, he didn't advert his mind to it. He didn't probably see it. But I, as a property lawyer, real estate investment expert, I scrutinize every document. I read in between the lines. How could you say that you have the right to increase service charge at any time, and appointing yourself by the same document to be the sole and the only facility manager for the estate, and you being the manager of the estate, that if somebody fails to comply, you revoke his rights over the property? So it becomes very vital, before you bind yourself, before you enter into buying any, yes, the house is good or the house is cheap and all that, there are certain other things you need to check out for. And if you are confused about how to start, where to start, the right questions to ask, I'm available for your one-on-one. The link to book for my one-on-one is in the description to this video. It's disheartening, and even the government does not have right to revoke your property anyhow. And someone is telling you that if he increases service charge, whether you like it or not, you must pay, and where you fail to pay, you lose the right over the property you've paid for. You get to realize that such a clause, you signed for it, when the developer tries to implement it, to enforce it. You'll be like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? He said, but that is the document that was issued to you. That was the offer letter I gave to you. That was the same document you signed for. By then, you might feel that it has become too late. But however, if you have found yourself in this kind of tight situation already, and you are under such a burden, it's not late. Such clauses are challengeable. If you challenge such clauses, I tell you that the chances of you succeeding in challenging such clauses are higher than the developer succeeding against you. Such a developer does not have any right at all to threaten you with revocation of your rights, your interest over the property you paid for, because you disagreed with him or her over the amount of service charge. That reminds me, there was another estate that was also brought to our notice, purportedly withdrawing the title, the letter of allocation issued to a subscriber, on the ground that the person misbehaved, in quotes. The details of the misdemeanor or the misbehavior was not given. So these are some of the things we see. If you know of any such risky real estate offers that will fetter your rights, and for instance, you've already entered and you are finding it difficult, you don't know what to do, don't let the next person become a victim. We need to call out such real estate companies. We need to call them out, and you will be asking, in the one in question that I mentioned, which real estate company is Efab. The allocation letter they issued, I think clause 3 or 4, it's where they were talking about revocation of somebody's interest over property he paid for. So buyers beware. Most developers, they don't have your best interest at heart. Theirs is to collect money and now continue to tax you at their own whims and caprices, and you won't be able to have a say over it. That is not what it's supposed to be. Be your brother's keeper by bringing such information to us, so that we use in sensitizing and conscientizing people, so that they don't find themselves in such risky real estate offers. Remember, at encumberedproperties.com, the safety of your real estate investment is our goal. And I invite you to partner with us by bringing to our notice such risky real estate offers, or head over to our platform, encumberedproperties.com, and give such details so that others will see and be wary. I remain your favorite real estate investment expert. I'm a property lawyer. By God's grace, I'm a chief superintendent of police and the founder, Encumberedproperties.com. Encumberedproperties.com is the only real estate fraud prevention platform. We love you and we care about the safety of your real estate investment. Please share this video. It will help someone somewhere.